Published 12:30 Eastern Standard Time, the 28th of January 2018. Updated 12:34 Eastern Standard Time, the 28th of January 2018. Nick Knowles' estranged wife Jessica Rose Moore has retaliated against her ex-husband's response to her open letter about my divorce posted on Twitter on Friday. In the long diatribe, she alleged years of emotional cruelty, physical abuse by her husband, as well as reportedly withdrawing their 3-year-old son Eddie from private education, but sources close to the DIY presenter, 55, denied the allegations, saying he only wants the best for his son. However, Jessica, who split from her husband last year, has hit back at his reaction in a new statement on the micro-blogging site on Sunday, where she denounced his denials of cruelty and continued to suggest that he has withdrawn his financial support for their son. Scroll down for video. Heading back, Nick Knowles' estranged wife Jessica Rose Moore has retaliated against her ex-husband's response to her open letter about my divorce posted on Twitter on Friday, and the equally emotional letter captioned, "In response, Jessica responded to Nick's apparent shock at the horrendous allegations made, saying, Nick may be intelligent but he is not smart. He is now denying that he withdrew his promise to send Eddie to private school, but it was sent by his solicitor to mine. He has also denied years of cruelty, but I do have diaries and photographic proof." Jessica then alleged that the presenter abandoned her with young son Eddie in Spain for his string of girlfriends, and that she wants Nick to keep his promises or she may publish witness statements that could confirm her allegations. She continued, "All I want is for him to keep all the promises he made to me and Eddie when he walked out of our lives to have a string of girlfriends after abandoning us in Spain. If he does not keep his promises, my only option, since I can't afford to fight it legally, which he knows, is to publish all that I have, including witness statements, because at that point I will have nothing to lose." Mile Online have contacted representatives for Nick Knowles for comment. Meanwhile, Nick is reportedly stunned by his estranged wife's accusations that he physically and emotionally abused her for years. Friends close to Nick hit back that her allegations made her look very bitter, as sources claimed he doesn't want to be drawn into a public slanging match. Nick can't believe Jess has done this and can't understand why she'd accuse him of such horrendous things, a source told the Mirror. Nick Knowles is reportedly stunned by his estranged wife Jessica Rose Moore's horrendous accusations that he physically and emotionally abused her for years. She'd never do anything to harm Jess and only wants the best for their son. He took Jess to Barbados, got her set up with a magazine blog, and she has sold stories, the insider added. This shows her being very bitter. He wants a dignified silence. His friends also claimed he is already paying Jessica thousands a month and paying her more than double of most people's monthly wages. It comes after sources claimed Nick was extremely hurt by Jessica's accusations. An insider told The Sun he won't be drawn into a public slanging match with Jess and wishes her nothing but the best. Not impressed, friends of the DIY presenter, 55, hit back that her allegations made her look very bitter, as sources claimed he doesn't want to be drawn into a public slanging match seen in 2014. For heaven's sake, he took her and Eddie on a fantastic luxury holiday to Barbados just a month ago as friends. Hardly the actions of a selfish man who won't pay the bills, the source added. I am 100% sure that he will find a way of paying those school fees, although he will pay them direct to the school rather than increasing her allowance. The insider also claimed Nick put his 3 other children through private school and will do the same for Eddie, who he absolutely adores. They alleged that he has made substantial financial provision for Jessica and Eddie and claimed she's just angry because he refused to increase his payments to her. Nick's spokesman told the Sunday Mirror, "These allegations are not true, but Nick will not be responding publicly in an attempt to minimize the negative impact on his son." Mile Online was unable to reach Jessica for comment. Claims. The insider also claimed Nick put his 3 other children through private school and will do the same for Eddie, who he absolutely adores. Pictured with Jessica and Eddie in Barbados last month, the blonde beauty, who has battled cervical cancer, called out her soon-to-be ex-beau in an explosive Twitter statement, explaining she has chosen to speak out about the TV star in a bid to fight for her son's schooling rights. Jessica shared a lengthy statement, an open letter about her divorce, to the micro-blogging site, claiming, "It takes a lot to break me, but he's done it," she penned. As all parents can relate, children starting school is an incredibly emotional and happy time. It takes a lot to break me. It comes after Jessica accused Nick of subjecting her to years of intimidation, emotional cruelty and physical abuse amid their divorce battle. This year parents, including myself, were invited to make their state school preferences for Gloucestershire by 15 by January 2018 for their child's chosen school. I did not submit a submission for Eddie as it has been long agreed by my soon-to-be ex-husband that Eddie would be privately educated, a luxury he's in the position to afford, as he has done for all his other children. As such, Eddie is enrolled to start private school this September, a school that me and my husband visited and chose together, except that he won't, as I was advised by my husband's solicitor that this offer has been withdrawn. Drama: she and the DIY presenter split a year ago, but while their parting appeared to be amicable, Jessica, 30, has now broken her silence on the duo's relationship, as she claims Nick, 55, has refused to pay for their son Eddie's above private education. Explosive: Jessica shared a lengthy statement, an open letter about her divorce, to the micro-blogging site, claiming, "It takes a lot to break me, but he's done it, after years of intimidation, emotional cruelty, physical abuse, and eventually isolation that I have kept silent about, of which I have diaries and images. This is the straw that broke the camel's back." To add insult to injury, like many men in his position of wealth and power, he has advised he will not pay any legal fees, meaning that I cannot afford to fight for our son's education. My husband has also said he will not purchase a house or give a settlement of any kind for us. This is disappointing but not unexpected. Some people's generosity is only present in front of the TV cameras. Since he was born, my sole priority has been Eddie's well-being, and I felt my silence was in his best interest, but now I have to fight, which I senti in my nature, but I'm fighting for my son. What mother wouldn't? A representative for Nick declined to comment when approached by Mile Online, accusing, she penned, "After years of intimidation, emotional cruelty, physical abuse, and eventually isolation that I have kept silent about, of which I have diaries and images, this is the straw that broke the camel's back." Upset, Jessica claims Nick is refusing to pay for their son Eddie's private schooling, as promised, and won't purchase a house or give a settlement of any kind for us. Amicable: Jessica's statement may come as a shock to fans, as she and Nick appeared to have an amicable divorce, despite the breakdown of their marriage. A representative for Nick declined to comment when approached by Mile Online. Jessica's statement may come as a shock to fans, as she and Nick appear to have an amicable divorce, despite the breakdown of their marriage. Just last month, the former couple had enjoyed a holiday to Barbados with their son Eddie, 3. Nick and Jessica, who share a 26-year age gap, had married in a ceremony in Rome in 2012, but announced their separation in January 2016, following almost 4 years of marriage. He is father to 3 other children, sons Charlie and Tyrion J and daughter Tuesday. Their split was muddied by his fling with Emmerdale star Gemma Houghton and Jessica's shock cancer diagnosis earlier in the year, but he insisted they were happily working on their marriage again and are ensuring their 3-year-old son remains their priority. Jessica had previously credited Nick for saving her life following her cancer battle. In June 2016, Jessica had been diagnosed with stage 1 cervical cancer and had to have her cervix and pelvic lymph nodes removed. Separated: Nick and Jessica had married in a ceremony in Rome in 2012, but announced their separation in January 2016, following almost 4 years of marriage. Following her surgery, Jessica was given the all-clear, but she had voiced her concerns that her cancer could return. In an interview with the Sunday Mirror in August 2016, she said, "I wonder if I'm on borrowed time. I have this really morbid feeling. I might have been given the all-clear, but it's still at the back of my mind it could come back." Despite it taking just 2 months after her diagnosis for her surgery to go ahead, Jessica described her ordeal as 2 months of hell, adding, "Everyone thinks because you've been given the all-clear it's amazing, when actually you're struggling with all these emotions, the physical changes to your body, coming off heavy painkillers and worried about your own mortality still." Following her recovery, however, she and Nick had decided to give their marriage another shot, but finally ended things for good last December, nearly a year after she and Nick initially announced their split. In an interview with Fabulous magazine last year, Jessica had insisted there was no hostility between herself and Nick, as she addressed their separation, explaining, "We were married and very in love, but communication broke down. The important thing is we really tried to make it work, so when we came out of it there wasn't anger or resentment." Split: Jessica had insisted there was no hostility between herself and Nick, as she addressed their separation, explaining, "We were married and very in love, but communication broke down." Nick, meanwhile, had nothing but praise when it came to speaking about his estranged wife Jessica, and gushed about their fantastic relationship during an appearance on ITV's Lorraine in November. He said, "I can't say enough about Jess. She's the most amazing mum, she's the most amazingly calm human being." Since their split, Nick has been linked to string of beauties, including Lark Rise to Candleford actress Olivia Hallinan and former TOWIE star Pascal Kramer, 30. Their romance came to an abrupt end and Pascal accused the star of having a midlife crisis. "I think Pascal got it right when she said I was having a midlife crisis," Nick joked. "Look, my relationship with my wife, Jessica Moore, ended 2 years ago now. We made sure we now have the best relationship we can have for our son. But we are both single. And I am dating. I just get on with it on my own." romance. Nick has since been linked to string of beauties, including Lark Rise to Candleford actress Olivia Hallinan and former TOWIE star Pascal Kramer, 30 above.